Hello. So today we're going to talk about different learning styles. Ne? So let's define what a learning style is. So learning styles, we're talking about methods you use to remember something, to learn information, to understand it, to retain it, so that it helps you to solve problems. So we have 7 methods of learning styles. Ne? So number 1 is visual learning. So while I'm explaining these methods, I'll also use the experiences we see. I'll also use examples ne, that we see or that we experience in our classrooms. So visual learning styles, we are talking about the learners who prefer to see something so that they can remember it. Ne? For example, when you are talking about elements in a periodic table, you need to bring that periodic table in class. You need to photocopy that periodic table to them and give it to them so that they see it. And that periodic table needs to include those elements, and then they see those elements, so that they can see, oh, an aluminum looks like this. You understand? They are visual learners. These learners, they prefer you to draw something. They prefer you to show it to them, project the video, show how the stomata opens and closes. You understand? Don't just say it to them, because whenever, if you go to them and tell, this is, today I'm going to teach you how a plant goes through transpiration. You see, during their days, the stomata opens up. They're going to be like, oh, what is the stomata? I've always been seeing leaves, but I've never seen a stomata. Where is it? You understand? But when you show it to them, or a stomata, it's like this, and then there's a video showing how the stomata opens up. You're going to understand it. Oh, this is how it works. You understand? So you need to do what? You need to show it to them so that they learn and they remember it. Ne? So these are the visual learners. You need to write it down. Don't just come to class, or don't just come to class and say it to them. Or today we're going to talk about transpiration, by saying it, because by the time you get out of the class, they won't remember it. Number 2, we're talking about auditory learning style. So in auditory learning styles, these are the learners who prefer teaching. So when you teach, they remember, who prefer verbal teaching, I mean. So these are the learners who prefer verbal teaching. They're like, teach me and I will remember. These are the teach me and I'll remember type of learners. Ne? So when you verbally explain something, they instantly get it. They instantly, without you writing it down. You understand? It's just, oh, ma'am, already page 2 and 3, they got it. And then they go home, but we're supposed to write page 2 and 3. You understand? These learners, you can explain photosynthesis to them by just sitting down with them, using your hands and looking at them in the eyes. They will just get it. Oh, in photosynthesis, it means the plant needs this and this and this, so that it can make its own food. You understand? These are auditory learners. You know, they're best at listening. They're best at listening when you explain something to them. Then they remember well. And then usually these methods of learning, we use them in our classroom. Ne? And also these methods of learning, they are used in your textbook. Look, check your textbook. Your textbook covers all this type of learners. The learners who prefer visual learning, you'll see the pictures. If it's history, you'll see pictures of slaves in there. You understand? If it's life sciences, you'll see pictures of the skeleton and pictures of the heart. Ne? And then auditory learning style, you see paragraphs, making sure, if they want to explain transpiration of the stomata, you'll see paragraphs of that stomata, making sure written there, the teacher will explain this and this and this to you, ensuring that learners who prefer listening, or who learn best at listening, they catch it. And then also after that paragraph that says teacher will explain this, you'll see a picture of that stomata, and it will say learners should draw this. You understand? That's how it works. And then 3, we have the kinesthetic, the kinesthetic learning styles. And I just practiced pronouncing this word, whatever. This learning style, it involves the learners who prefer, they involve me and I will learn type of learners, because they learn by doing. They learn by solving problems, they learn by investigating, they learn by experimenting, they learn by doing projects. And life orientation, this term, term 3, we have projects, meaning we want to engage this type of learners who learn best by being involved. And also life sciences also wants to involve these learners. They have their investigations and the experiment. We also have in our home language, also have in English, we have books whereby when they say learners should read. Here we have stories whereby learners in class, they read those stories because we want to involve you. We want you to experience. Yo guys, there's always things moving. It's winter, but reptiles, insects be moving. Whatever. Anyways, we also have the reading and writing styles, which is learners prefer or you learn through reading and writing something, like I'm doing now. As you can see, I wrote it and I'm also reading it. So tomorrow if you ask me, or tomorrow if there's a test about this, I know I have 7 learning styles, and I can define them, and I can give examples, and I can name them because I wrote it down and I'm reading it now. You understand? Yes. And then 5, we have the social learning. These are the learners who learn through experience. They get knowledge, they get the experience from observing and sharing information with others or from others. These are the social learning learners. These learners, usually we accommodate them through interviews. Have you seen that life orientation project? Even in social sciences, you'll be given projects and then they tell you, go and investigate this, go and ask people involved in this topic, go and ask people involved in gender-based violence, go and ask your community, what do they understand about gender-based violence? Then they'll tell you, I understand gender-based violence because of this and this and that. Is social learning. You understand? That is social. You are socially learning because that definition that someone gave it to you, it's right, definitely it's right, and then you're going to remember it. You understand? And then you're going to catch it. You're going to catch their problems in the community. That is social learning. And then 6 is solitary learning style, whereby learners learn best alone. Like I did these notes alone, and probably I did learn them. They learn by doing, but they just study alone. It's not like people like to confuse solitary learners with selfish learners. They think that if you are studying alone, if you're learning alone, you're selfish. No, you can come, but then don't disturb me. You can come and ask for questions. Understand, and I'll help you, it's fine, but then don't disturb. People like that if you are alone, or you prefer learning alone, or doing alone, they think you are selfish, you don't want to share information. No, it's just that I prefer doing it alone. 7 is analytical learning. Analytical learning is whereby learners learn through examining something in detail. I think I'm sort of an analytical learner because before I get to do something, or before I get to put something in my mind, I have to look at it in detail. Where is it coming from? Who is saying it? Why is that person saying that? Is it because they experienced it, or is it because they generally? Usually I ask myself about people who are hating. Haters. I always ask myself, why is this person hating? When did this hatred come from? How old? So those kind of questions. So these learners, they learn something through examining it in details so that they can solve problems. You understand? So usually learners in analytical learning, when they study, they have a question next to what they're studying, so that they study and then they answer that question. They study and then they answer that question. Usually analytical learners, they go through researches. They go through a lot of researches. Or, I'm learning about DNA today. So they go through it, they research about DNA so that they know more in details about the DNA. Instead of learning what is within their curriculum, they want to learn more about it, like who came up with it, what was that person doing, what technology that person use. You understand? So these are the type of learners. These type of learners are learning through this method called the analytical learning. So all of these methods, they are used in your textbook, in your subject. Especially every subject, includes all of them, because we want and we believe that one person can literally use all of these methods to learn something. Ne? Yes, and then we believe that we need to cover each and every one. The one learner might be maybe 70% this, and then 10% this, 5% this, and this and this. Oh, you understand? So we need to include, check your textbook, every learning style is included. Like, in even our home languages, even creative arts, it doesn't matter. Even life orientation, we have these learning styles. I think I'm done in terms of these learning styles. Please check how you use them with your own learning, and also please look how you can use them in preparation for your trials examination and for your final examinations, not only in life orientation but also in other subjects. Ne? I'm done, and for this learning, for this study or learning styles, and my next topic, I want us to talk about human factors that causes accidents, crisis, disease, disasters, and ill health. Bye-bye.